What's up guys? Welcome to Throttle Only. My name is Nate. This is a 2024 Tesla Model 3. Let's check it out. So jumping right on into the exterior styling here for the front, you can see there is very little to talk about here in the front just because of this overall minimalist design and very sleek appearance that this Tesla has. As we look at the front here, we have this Tesla logo, and then on the sides there are two body lines above each wheel that give it a little bit more dimension, but overall there's really not much to talk about here on the front. As we make our way down, there's no grille whatsoever. Of course, this is a Tesla, so there's no need for one, but down below there is a little slot there for some venting to help cool the battery. And then probably the most obvious thing to note here are these headlights. These are the updated headlights for 2024, and they look very nice. I think they look way better than the previous generation. So it does have daytime running lamps that look very good. And then this also has your side LED markers that are in amber. It also has a separate LED for your indicator or your hazards. I think it would look a lot better if it was incorporated into the daytime running lamp and it would just change color. I wanted to take a second to say thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for liking my content. Thank you for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. I do a lot of car reviews. It does take a lot of time. And if you're interested in merch, go to throttleonlymerch.com. You can get some pretty cool t-shirts like this one. This is a simple car tee in oatmeal. So now as we look at the side of the vehicle here, starting with the wheels here. So these wheels are 18-inch Photon wheels. They are 235/45 size tires here at the front, and that's going to be the same at the rear. Even though this is rear-wheel drive, I would kind of expect a staggered stance on this, but it does not have that. As we make our way up just a little bit from those wheels, there is a little bit of a fender flare there with a sharp body line. And then as we make our way back, there's a nice LED indicator with a camera here on the side. When you go ahead and flip on your turn signal there, it'll show a camera or an image there on your front screen. And then coming on back a little bit more here and looking at these mirrors, there's no LED indicator on the outside of those mirrors because it is down there where that camera housing is. These mirrors do fold and they also will dim at night. There is also a blind spot monitoring light that will show on the very inside of the vehicle. And just like all of the other Model 3s, we have these nice door handles here. To open them, you'll have to push on the fat part or the thicker part of the door handle. Push one end open and you can go ahead and grab that and open. On the B pillar here, there is also a camera, and that camera will help with the overall autopilot and full self-driving system that this vehicle has. There are two body lines that I'm spotting here on the side of the vehicle. There's one just below the door handles here, and then another one down where a side skirt would be. And then as we make our way back, the same very nice sleek design just continues. And lastly, the charge port is located on the driver's side where you could either use home charging or a Tesla supercharger to charge your Tesla. So now continuing on with the exterior styling here in the rear, we're going to start at the top here with this roof. So this roof is completely tinted and it is fully glass as well. You can see that the tint will end just about here. Your third brake light will also be housed back here as well. And then as we continue on down into this trunk here, it does have a little bit of a lip, but there's no spoiler there. And then also on the back of this trunk here, there's nice Tesla logos or lettering that is spelled out here, which is a change for this new model year or this refresh. And I think that looks pretty good as well. As we make our way down here where this license plate is, there's also a reverse camera there. And then coming on down even further there's a very nice diffuser here. I actually really like this diffuser. It is this nice kind of ABS plastic material. And then there's also some more tail lamps down here as well. And then of course the best part about the exterior styling here in the rear are these tail lamps. I think they look very nice. And then when you turn on the turn signals or those hazards, there is a little piece underneath where the red parking lights are that will illuminate in an amber color, which looks pretty good. I really wish though that they were sequential. I'll also show you what it looks like when the brake lights are on. So you can also see that third brake light. And then I'll turn it into reverse here as well so you can see where those reverse lights are. Also, don't forget, if you're going to buy a Tesla, use my referral code. I'll link it in the description. That way you get rewards and I get rewards as well. So let's head to tesla.com and build this Model 3. So first off, you can see there are 3 trims available with their prices listed. Make sure to toggle cash price and unclick the gas savings button to see the real price. The base model is the rear-wheel drive. The middle is the long-range all-wheel drive. The top trim is the performance all-wheel drive. At the top, you can see when you select a specific trim, the range changes as well as the top speed and the 0 to 60 time. Currently, the stealth gray paint color is free. The other paint colors you'll have to pay for. The solid black color is an extra $1,500 option. This Tesla is configured with the 18-inch Photon wheels, but there's also another option for the 19-inch Nova wheels for an extra $1,000. As far as the interior color, there are two options, black, which is included in this one, and white, which is an extra $2,000 option. And lastly, the full self-driving feature is available for an extra $8,000, as well as accessories such as a roof rack, center console trays, and floor mats. If you're looking for Tesla accessories, EVBase is a great website to get quality Tesla accessories, like wheel covers, organizers, sunshades, different displays, and a ton more. And if you use my link in the description box down below, you'll get 20% off your order, which will automatically be applied at checkout. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the key system here for the Tesla Model 3. So first option here is the Tesla key card. It is literally just like a credit card here. And to unlock or lock the vehicle here, you'll just have to put the key card there on the B pillar underneath where the camera is located. The second option is to use your phone as the key. Download the Tesla app and you'll go into the application and connect your vehicle. So currently I have my own personal Model Y and then the Model 3. I'll go ahead and select to that Model 3 there. And there are a bunch of different things you can do here so you can unlock the vehicle, which I'll do right now. You can see the vehicle is unlocking. You can also turn on the climate control with your quick buttons there at the top. You can also open the charge port door. You can see there that the charge port door is opened. You can also unlock the front trunk there, which I just did. I'll go ahead and turn off the climate control and shut that charge port there. I'm going to go ahead and shut the trunk as well. All right, now that that trunk is shut, I'll go ahead and go into controls. And again, you can open up that front trunk once again. You can unlock the vehicle. You can also unlock or open that trunk there as well, and it's automatic. You can see that that's happening right now. You can also open up that charge port door once again. I'll go ahead and close both of those things. You can also flash the lights, which I've just done, honk the horn. You can also start the vehicle. If you don't have the key card or someone just needs to move your vehicle for you, that is very handy. You can also vent the windows and then close those windows once again. Going back out here, you can also see the charge limit there. Once I had pushed the charge port door open, you can adjust where you want your specific level of charging to be at. Going to climate control here, you can go ahead and turn on the climate, and then this does have heated and ventilated seats here in the front, and you can toggle those if you would like to. And then scrolling down just a little bit, you can defrost the car. There's also camp mode, dog mode, and then cabin overheat protection. I'm gonna go ahead and turn that on. And then approximate activation temperature is 100 degrees. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the climate control and go back here. And then it also has the location. There's a schedule, so you can schedule charging and departure. There's also security. If you hit security, you can turn on the Sentry mode and you can actually view live cameras as well, but you have to enable that within the display screen in the front there. So as I go ahead and open up the cameras here, you can see here's a look at all of the cameras, and you can also isolate specific ones if you'd like to. As I'm doing right now, you can see there I am. Here's a look inside of the vehicle and on the sides. So there's a bunch of different options here, which is pretty cool. And again, you can, at the bottom here, honk the horn, flash the lights. You can also do a fart sound as well. Or you can also just talk to the vehicle. You also have valet mode and speed limit mode. And then, of course, there are upgrades, a bunch of accessories that you can choose to buy if you'd like to. And then service and roadside. So let's go ahead and take a look at the storage space here on the Tesla Model 3. Starting with the front trunk, since there is no engine here, we're going to go ahead and use the app to open up the front trunk. So unfortunately, this is not electric assisted, so you have to go ahead and lift it on up. There's a look at the inside or the underside of that hood there. And then here's a look at the front trunk space. There is a good amount of space in here. You do have some nice ridges in there as well. And then there's that tow hook here. If you wanted to use your tow hook, you could go ahead and attach it down here. And then lastly, this is your washer fluid area. You can go ahead and refill your washer fluid if you're low. All right, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the rear trunk space here. We'll go ahead and open it up using the phone key. And then you can see here, there's a decent amount of room back here. You also have some under storage here as well. There's a little tab right here. You just lift that and there's a good amount of room in there. And this little piece also is able to be removed as well. Go ahead and slide that back in there. And then there's also a little cubby back here as well on this side here, as well as on this side. There's another area there. And then overall you can see pretty nice storage here. And I'll go ahead and put these seats down as well so you can see how much room there is. So in order to pull the seats down, you have to use this tab right here, and you can go ahead and pull that. And you can go ahead and do the same thing on this side, pulling this little tab right here. And then now you can see from the side profile at least, this is how much room you'll have. And here's a look at all the storage space here with those second row seats folded down. So before I sit in the rear seats here, let's look at the rear door panel here. So it does have frameless windows, as you can see. And the panels are dual pane as well, which is very nice. It'll help cutting out noise. And then as we make our way down here, you can see just how nice this door panel looks. There's some nice soft touch material up here at the top. There's an ambient lighting strip right there. And then some nice material here. And then some more comfortable padding material there. There's one window switch and this button to open up your door. A nice speaker grill there. And then you do have a storage pocket down below here that is lined with this felt material. So sitting in the back of the Tesla Model 3 is honestly a pretty comfortable place to be at. I have enough room for my legs and my feet. And then on the back of the driver and the passenger seats here, there's also little cubbies you can store stuff in. And then in the very center here, there's no hump for your transmission or anything since this is an electric vehicle. Up top here, you do have your accessory lights. All you have to do is just push. There's also some accessory hooks. And then of course, you cannot forget the giant glass roof here that extends from the front to the back of the vehicle. And probably the main attraction back here is this giant center screen. There are also two USB Type-Cs here. And then now I'll go ahead and go over this giant center screen here. First off, I'm currently on the climate control menu, which you can see right here. You can easily toggle the climate control on or off with the power button in the center there. And you can also choose the location of where you want the air to come out, or you can just select where you want the air to come out like this. Choosing the seat option is next here. You can adjust the front seat here, as you can see I'm currently doing. And then you can also decide whether or not you want to toggle the heated seats. You can easily do that. And there are 3 different modes there. Next you have media, and you can see here this is playing from Spotify. And next there's theater. There's Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, Twitch, and Tesla tutorials there. And then next is the arcade menu, and there are some games that you can play. And then there's also a setting option here. You can adjust the screen brightness. You can also clean the screen as well. And then you also have the option to adjust the volume here. Now here's a look at the passenger side door panel here, starting at the top with the frameless windows that do have dual pane on them. Go ahead and see if that'll focus for me. And that'll help with wind noise reduction, getting into the cabin there. Nice padded material here, a window switch. This is a manual lever to open up the door just in case there's no electricity. You have a door open button there. Same beautiful type material here, as well as your ambient lighting strip there. And then a cubby down below. Moving on into the vehicle here, there is a Model 3 sill. It is not illuminated. Automatic seat controls here. And these seats are ventilated and heated. And you can see the perforations there. And then in front of the passenger here, here's a look at the dash. I really love this material. It's way better than the wood material that they had before. And then even this material here, it almost looks like speaker grill material there. And then some nice padded rubber. And now here's a look at the driver's side door. This is going to be the exact same thing as the passenger side, except we're going to have the 4 window switches right here. And then moving on into the vehicle, there is a Model 3 sill here. Rubber pedals down below here. Automatic seat controls. And then same beautiful ventilated and heated seats here. And now here's a look at the center console slash armrest area. It's decently plush here. This one actually has a little bit of creaking, if you can hear this. Just right here in the center. But then opening it on up, there is a decent amount of room in here as well. I'm not sure if you can see or not, but there is a little light down below. I have the Tesla key card in there. And then there's also one USB Type-C right there. And in front of the armrest there's this very nice material here. It feels really good, and it also has a very nice look to it. If you go ahead and extend this back, it will reveal the cup holders there. And then you can also push this area back as well, and it'll reveal more storage there. And inside there is a 12-volt adapter and some pretty deep storage. In front of that, there are two wireless charging pads there, and there is a little separation there, which is very nice. And then we have this giant display here, which I'll go over in just a minute. So before we move on, we'll go ahead and take a look at the steering wheel here. And this steering wheel is a very nice feeling steering wheel. I think it's honestly like the perfect size. In the middle here, we have Tesla spelled out. Very nice horn sound. More of this really cool material here that we saw in other parts of the vehicle as well. And then up on the left side, we have our turn signals here. And then this is our volume knob. We can also use our brights button there. And then we have a camera button here, and then this will also link to our autopilot or cruise control there. And then you can also use the speaker button or the wiper button there. So this will be your main screen here for pretty much any Tesla. You can go ahead and click and navigate here if you want to navigate to specific places. And you can also set your home or your work. So all you have to do is when you get into the vehicle, click work or home, and it'll navigate very quickly for you. And then also, if you just tap the screen there, you can adjust whether or not you want it to be satellite mode, on or off. You can adjust the traffic data there as well. And you can also take off the certain points here. It says grocery outlet, go ahead and take that off. And then your supercharging stations there as well. I'm gonna go ahead and toggle all of these back on because I think that's very helpful. And then there, it'll just show you all the different charging stations. And you can select what kind of charging stations you want. Obviously, there's more powerful charging stations here with the multiple electricity signs here, and then just the one there. So going over the tabs here at the very bottom, if you click this little car button here, it'll bring up all of your menu options here. You can click that again, it'll go away. And if you click here, this will be your climate control, and you have front and rear controls here. And remember, in the front, you have heated and ventilated seats, which is pretty awesome. And if you want to toggle the air, you can just pull and direct the air just like so. You can also do the same thing on the other side as well. And if you go ahead and click the rear, you can go ahead and click the rear fan on, and you can toggle all of those heated seats there if you want, and then quickly toggle them all off and turn off that fan there. Then as we make our way down over to the sides here, you can also click certain automatic features right here. All you have to do is click that little window there and then drag them down into these little areas right here. Personally, I have Spotify connected here. Also the camera buttons there. And then I also like all of the energy data or trip information here. I think that's pretty helpful. And then a camera record button there. So I'll go ahead and open this little menu once again here, and you can see there's just a bunch of stuff up here. Front defrost, rear defrost, there's left seat. Currently have the ventilated seat on, heated steering wheel, as well as wipers. There's also the rear screen. If you go ahead and tap that, it'll bring up the rear screen here. You can lock the display from here, or you can just toggle everything that has to do with that rear screen. Going back to that little menu there, there's camera, dash cam, energy, phone, calendar, messages, zoom, theater mode, which is pretty cool in this. Go ahead and just pull up YouTube, arcade. You see there's a bunch of games on here. And then toy box. And you can also toggle all of these things with the menus up here, theater, arcade, and toy box. And here's this colorizer here, where you can change the color of your vehicle. There's emissions, tracks, romance, just a bunch of fun things here. And then following up here, there's the browser, the owner's manual, Spotify, Bluetooth, streaming, karaoke, Apple CarPlay, and Apple Podcasts. And then lastly here, you do have the volume button here. And if you want to set up your mixer or your EQ, go ahead and click this button right here. And then you can adjust all of the music balances and options and everything like that. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the center display here. We're going to start at the top. So these are your drive modes. You have park, reverse, and neutral, and drive. And to activate those, press and hold the brake. It has a little illustration right here for you, so I'll go ahead and do that. And then in doing so, you have the park button there. You can slide forward to go into drive, slide backwards, and then it'll push you into reverse right there. Then you also have a neutral button right here. And I'm going to go ahead and go right back into park by holding that button there. You have a fasten seatbelt warning right here, and you can just pull that down. And then starting on the right here, out of these three tabs here, this is your music. Currently I'm using Spotify. And if I swipe to the right there, you have current drive, Sense Charge, and Trip A data. And then this is your tire pressure. And if I go all the way back over to music, I can swipe up here, and it'll also show some more information from my media. So now this is a digital representation of what the vehicle looks like, and you can do a couple of things here. You can open up the frunk. You can also lock the vehicle and unlock the vehicle. You can open up the trunk, and in doing so, it'll actually show you everything that's going on here. I'll go ahead and roll down the windows as well. And if you look closely, you can see that the windows are actually rolled down there. I'll go ahead and close the trunk button there and roll up all of the windows. And you can see it's doing all of that. I can open up the charge port door there, and then that also opens up, which is pretty cool. As I'm sitting here literally editing this video in my Tesla, there is a Tesla update that popped up, and this is now what you get when you look at the center screen here. I think this looks so much better. You have maps up here, you get a display of the vehicle, and you can just go ahead and turn it. And then if you want to go back, you can just slide or swipe this right here. So that brings me to a pretty important point here about Teslas, is that they're kind of like iPhones, where they will update periodically and improve over time. So continuing on with the top items here, at the very top you have a percentage of charge, and if I click that, it'll show in miles. Go ahead and tap that again to show the percentage. And then if I touch the actual battery there, it'll bring up the charging display right here, but we'll go over that in just a little bit here. Here is the time, the temperature, and then this is all of the different profiles for the vehicle. Of course, I am Nate, so I'll go ahead and toggle that one there. And then also at the top here, as we go back to controls, is your profile. You can also search specific things within the menu. This is home link, so you can link your garage there. There's notifications, Bluetooth, and then the LTE here. So on this controls panel here at the very top, here are your lights. You can have your lights off, you can have the parking lights on, have the lights just on standard, auto high beams, and you can also turn on the lights to auto. You can quickly fold the mirrors. There's a child lock setting here, window lock, glove box, and you can also set a pin for that. You can turn on your wipers either to auto, and there's also 4 different stages for that. You can adjust your mirrors and the steering wheel. If I want to adjust the mirrors, there are some directions on how to do so. And to adjust the steering wheel, it's pretty simple as well. And then of course you can just save that to your profile. And since this does have a bunch of cameras here, you can record. And so currently I have it recording as a dash cam. There's also Sentry mode. And so that'll be your security cameras when the car is in park. And then I also have the display brightness to auto, but you can adjust it however you want. Put it all the way down and then all the way up. And now under pedals and steering at the top, we have acceleration. There's 2 different types, chill and standard. There's different steering modes as well, comfort, standard, and sport. And you can have the vehicle apply the brakes when regenerative braking is limited. So for example, if you charge the battery to about 100%, there won't be any regenerative braking because the battery is full. Therefore, the vehicle will automatically apply the brakes. There's also auto shift out of park, which is a beta, which is pretty cool. If you toggle that on, auto shift out of park feature is currently in beta. The gear is chosen based on the trajectory that was taken into your current parking location. And you can go ahead and hit yes or read the rest of this if you would like. And then there's also a slip start, and that is used to help free vehicle stuck in snow, sand, or mud. Now under the charging section, again, there is a different way you can get to this area right here. You can just tap right here on the battery section, or you can go to the bottom here and tap that and then go into charging. So this is your current charge, and then this is your current charge limit. Again, you can set that to 100%. And then there's also daily limits here as well. Here's the charge current at their current location. You can open the charge port from here as well. And then if you were to use supercharging, this will show your last session and your location. There's also supercharging tips. You can go ahead and pause the video if you want to read this. Now under the Autopilot tab, there are a bunch of different autopilot features. First, at the very top, there is traffic aware cruise control. And then there's also auto steer beta. You can go ahead and pause the video if you want to read this. Essentially, it will be similar to radar cruise control and then also keep you within your lane. Full self-driving supervised, you can go ahead and pause this if you want to look at this. But it's pretty self-explanatory and there are tons of videos on the internet about it. And then down from that, autopilot activation. There's a single click or a double click. You can decide which you want to do. And you can also put on navigate on autopilot as well. If you go ahead and turn that on, you can read this, a bunch of different information on here. You can also learn more in the Tesla tutorials as well if you want to just a very quick insight on that. There's traffic light and stop sign control beta. You can set the specific speed, there's speed limit or the current speed, and that's when of course you activate the autopilot system. There's an offset, there's a fixed, and then there's also a percentage. Speed limit warning, you can have it off, display, or have it chime. The speed limit is relative or absolute, and then again there's an offset here. There's forward collision warning, off, late, medium, and early. Lane departure avoidance system here, off, warning, and assist. And then there's some more controls at the very bottom here, emergency lane departure avoidance, automatic emergency braking, obstacle aware acceleration, traffic aware cruise control chime, and green light traffic chime. And under the lock section here, this is where you can add specific keys as well as profiles and people. So you can add a key right here. You can also delete people as well. And you can see there's a lot of keys here that you can add. Go ahead and scroll a little bit. There's child locks. You can have both doors locked, the left or the right for the rear. There's also window locks here. Walk away door locks, automatically locks doors and trunks when leaving with your phone or key fob. And you can exclude home there. Driver door unlock. So when enabled, the driver door and charge port will unlock when the key is detected near the driver's side of the vehicle. Holding down the interior driver door button will unlock the rest of the vehicle. Car left open notifications. You can have it off, just the doors and the windows, and of course you can exclude home there as well. There's a lock confirmation sound that you can toggle and close the windows on lock. And then here is where you can link the MyQ connected garage. You can just link your account there, and that way you can use this little garage button up here. And here's a look at the lights section here. At the very top, you can toggle the headlights off, parking on, or auto. There's auto turn signals. You can have it auto cancel. So auto cancel, your turn signals will automatically turn off after a merge, fork, or lane change has been completed. If the vehicle detects an upcoming turn or another lane change in the same direction, the turn signal will not turn off until the maneuver is complete. You can also toggle your auto high beams, headlights after exit, accent lights. You can turn them on, off, or auto. And then if you push this button here, it'll bring up your nice RGB ring here. And this will change all of the accent lights here. I'll give you a look at what the accent lighting looks like here. I'll go ahead and just overlay some footage here. And then down from that, there's also the dome lights. You can toggle them on, off, or auto. And you can also toggle on the footwell lights. Under the display tab here, this is where you can configure pretty much the entire display. So for the appearance, you can have it light or dark. And that's what it'll look like at nighttime if you decide to use the dark mode. There's also a reduce blue light mode there. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back into auto here. Brightness, you can adjust the brightness as you wish or turn it onto auto. There's an automatic blind spot camera here as well. Show the side repeater camera when the turn signal is engaged. I'll go ahead and turn on the turn signals right now. And you can see there's your turn signal right here, and then there's the image of the passenger side of the vehicle. And then here's the driver side turn signal, and then this is also a look at that area as well. And then you can just push on the steering wheel to disengage that. There's a screen clean mode, so that way if you touch that, then you can go ahead and clean the screen without toggling anything. You can lock the rear display if you have children back there, you don't want them touching things. And then there's also a scroll wheel function. You can adjust whatever you want here. There's temperature, fan speed, display brightness. You can save the dash cam. You can also have it just to none as well. And then you can change the language. There's English here, a bunch of other languages, a voice recognition language, a voice navigation language. You can adjust the size of the text, standard or large, the time, 24-hour time or 12-hour. The energy display, you can have it to percentage or distance. You can also just touch the percentage up here or the distance, and that will also change it. And then for the distance, kilometers or miles, temperature, Celsius or Fahrenheit, bar or PSI. And here's a look what is under the trips tab here at the very top. There's a current drive. You can go ahead and reset that if you want. Since your last charge, there's trip A and trip B. And you can also show any of these trip cards here, and that will display right here when you're in drive. And then your odometer is at the bottom. Under the navigation section at the very top, you have navigation volume. You can also quickly mute that. You can use the HOV lanes, automatic navigation. It'll automatically route you to home, work, or your next calendar event upon entry. There's trip planner. It'll add supercharger stops if necessary. There's online routing. It'll find optimal routes based on traffic conditions. Of course, this does have Wi-Fi, and so that's how it'll do that. You can reroute to save time. So it says 5 minutes here. You can avoid tolls or avoid ferries. And under the safety tab here at the very top, there's Sentry mode. You can toggle that on or off. You can also exclude specific locations there as well. Exclude home, exclude work, or exclude favorites. There's camera-based detection. And what that means here, when the camera-based detection is enabled, Sentry mode will use the vehicle's external cameras in addition to the vehicle's sensors to detect a security event while parked. You can also disable the Sentry sounds here. By disabling Sentry sounds, Sentry mode will no longer honk or generate a loud, unexpected sound when a significant threat is detected. There's also View Live Camera via the mobile app. That will essentially allow you to view all of the cameras in the Tesla app. Scrolling a little bit down here, there's dash cam. You can have that off, manual, or auto. And then on honk, it'll go ahead and save a dash cam clip. You can format the specific drive. The USB drive is located in the glove box. There's automatic blind spot camera you can toggle here. Blind spot collision warning chime. There's a blind spot warning light. You can allow mobile access to the vehicle. There's a pin to drive you can toggle and a glove box pin. And there's also a speed limit mode. So if you have other people driving your vehicle, you can limit them to a specific speed. There's cabin overheat protection, which I would recommend in summer. You can go ahead and read that if you would like, but basically it'll just turn on the AC when it gets too hot in the interior of the vehicle. And then scrolling on down, there's automatic 911 calls, security alarm, park assist chimes, Joe mode. And so Joe mode, enabling Joe mode reduces the volume of your car's chimes. The quieter chimes continue to alert the driver effectively and minimize disruption to passengers in the rear seats. And then lastly, you can also power off the screen here. And now under the service tab here at the very top, there's a recommended pressure. For the front, it's 42 PSI, and for the rear, it's also 42 PSI. There's a tire service mileage that you can reset here. And in the very center is your PSI. As we scroll down, there's the owner's manual. You can go ahead and toggle that. And this will have the full digital owner's manual here that you can toggle. And then going back to service, there's also car wash mode. You can go ahead and read that, and you can enter that. You can adjust the headlights. There's towing, wheel and tire, notifications, camera preview, camera calibration, driver seat steering, and mirrors calibration. You can also clear the browser data there as well. And then wiper service mode. So under the software tab, you have your specific vehicle model as well as the odometer. There's a name of the vehicle. You can name your vehicle. You can also click there, and you can also change whatever color you want your vehicle to be, and in solid, metallic, or matte. And then you can also save some presets down below. And then as we scroll down, you have more information about the vehicle. There's an autopilot computer. It'll show you that. Full self-driving capability, premium connectivity, your specific software, and you can also set whatever software update preference you have. You can set it to advanced if you would like, and that way you get more of the beta software updates. And then lastly here on this tab, we have upgrades. And you can upgrade your full self-driving capability subscription, which would be $99 a month. There's premium connectivity subscription as well. There's also a yearly plan for that premium connectivity subscription. All right, so inside the Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive, starting with the 0 to 60 in standard mode. It's 45, 60. Honestly, that's really not too bad, especially considering the $40,000 price tag that this thing has. It's pretty respectable. None of the speed surprises me, but honestly, this thing is extremely comfortable to drive. It still has a lot of get-up, but I feel like the get-up is not available at the start like the all-wheel drive models. It takes a little bit of time for it to build that speed. But I think that the rear-wheel drive model is not all about speed, especially in this refreshed Highland version. You have a lot of different amenities here. So first off, the steering wheel. The new steering wheel takes a little bit of time to get used to. I'm used to all of the stocks being there, especially for your turn signals. And this, of course, is going to have the turn signals on the actual steering wheel. To the core of the Tesla Model 3 is pretty much the same. It's just improved a little bit more. I almost feel like Teslas are almost like iPhones now, where there's just this ladder system of slowly letting out features that are a little bit better and better and better. And so you might have to decide, you know, between the 2022, 2023, and 2024 models, like, hey, is it even worth upgrading? It's kind of up to you. So here I am driving in Autopilot. You can see here that it's keeping me within the lanes here. It does periodically require you to touch the steering wheel. And keep in mind that will be in Autopilot and also full self-driving. There's a camera inside of every Tesla that basically just watches the driver, make sure they're not on their phone and they're paying attention to the road. So here I am in FSD, or full self-driving supervised mode, and you can see it's even more convenient because now the vehicle will be able to not only steer and change lanes, but it'll also navigate to any specific location, and it'll also obey traffic signs or traffic laws as well. In my personal opinion, I think that Teslas are one of the most convenient vehicles to own. I mean, you really just get in and go. And as far as commuting, it's just super simple whether you have autopilot or full self-driving. So I really enjoyed driving this vehicle. I really hope you guys learned or gained something from watching this content here. And if you have, consider liking the video or consider subscribing. That would mean a lot and definitely help the algorithm. And don't forget to that I do have merch available if you like the simple car tee that I showed earlier in the video. If you are going to purchase a Tesla, remember to use my affiliate link down. I'll put it down in the description box below. And then you can also get 20% off any purchases at evbase.com. I'll also put that link in the description box down below as well. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.